Today's Sharp Saturday video is going to be a little bit different. I was recently tagged by my friend John Heffron from the Wingman 115 YouTube channel and kind of challenged to show 5 of my favorite knives. So, well, don't count these because there's a couple of extras in here, but that's what we're going to do coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. So stick around and see if you agree with my choices. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for trustworthy information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me here for another Sharp Saturday video. And as I said, my friend John Heffron from the Wingman 115 YouTube channel tagged me in a video recently to show 5 of my favorite knives. I tried to get it down to 5, and these are not like my super only top favorite. These are 5 of my favorites because I've got a lot of knives and I like a lot of them. So anyway, these I think are these all kind of have a special place in my heart. So we're going to take you down to the old stump top. We're going to talk about these, and some of these are not available anymore. Some of them are available right now. So this is not like a sales pitch or scam to get you to buy these knives or anything. These are just knives that I've hung on to over the years. So and they each have kind of a story, and I'll try to keep that to a minimum. But you know me, I like to ramble. But before I start rambling, I got to, as always, give a big shout out to the folks at Big Daddy Unlimited for making these Sharp Saturday videos possible. They do that by creating a situation where you can save money and support the channel. The way that works is if you go to survivalonpurpose.com/BDU, get signed up for a 30-day trial membership for just 99 cents. That lets you get behind the paywall so they can show you the prices that are too low for them to advertise to the public based upon their agreements with manufacturers. And if you save money, you think it's going to be a good deal for you, and you stick around and continue your membership at either $10 a month or $100 a year, they'll throw me a couple of bucks for introducing you. So if you save money, then it helps support the channel, so it's a win for everybody. So anyway, that being said, let's get down to the old stump top and take a look at these knives and do just a little bit of rambling about them. Well, wouldn't you know it, as soon as I sat down to make the video, the garbage trucks came through the neighborhood. So but I'm gonna have to endeavor to persevere because I gotta get to my mama's real soon and help her get her groceries in. So we're just gonna start with no particular order. And let me say, first of all, again, I usually don't do these kind of tag videos, but John Heffron is one of the guys that really, one of the first friends I made through the YouTube channel. And just a real quick story about him. And him and a guy named Andy Tran contacted me on YouTube when I had, I don't know, maybe 200 subscribers. I had just been starting out. I was really trying to build a channel up, and they were doing a live stream show once a week, and they invited me to be on their live stream. And at the time, I was like, wow, I can't even believe they knew who I was, and they didn't really. I guess they just found one of my videos. But great guys. John is Wingman 115. Andy Tran was Interbark Outdoors, and he was a super great cinematographer. He used to do X game videos and stuff, so he had all his videos were way better technically than mine, and I thought, man, those are pretty cool. I like to do that. I soon realized that, hey, man, it's a lot of work to do that. So but anyway, John and Andy invited me on. They're good guys, and Andy now is in law enforcement, so pray for him. And John is in Southern California, so pray for him. So anyway, we're just gonna start. I'm gonna save my absolute favorite, all-time favorite for last, and we'll just get started with heck, let's just get started with a knife that I carry in my pocket every day. I've been carrying this knife for a year or two now. It's the Emerson CQC-7BW with a wave. And of all, I mean, look, I got a lot of knives, okay? Obviously, I've been doing this for 7-8 years now, and I've got a lot of knives. So, but this one is literally the one that I choose to carry every single day because I really like the wave feature. It's the fastest opening knife I've ever used. I got a video on this one, so I'm not going to belabor that point. But number 1 is the Emerson CQC-7. We'll go to a different one now. That was a folder. We'll go to a fixed blade, and this one is not available. And I have a little story to tell you about this one. This is the First Edge 50/50 survival knife, and this knife was designed for the Navy SEALs, marketed to the Navy SEALs, and I met the guys from First Edge Survival. They contacted me and asked me about working with them, and their first, I guess, project for the SEALs was this sheath. The Navy SEALs wanted a sheath that they could take to the cold weather training. It wouldn't crack, so they've got this Kydex sheath, but inside it's got a little stainless steel liner on both sides of this, so even if it breaks in the cold weather, it'll still hold together. And it's got a nylon thing on it here. This knife is like LMAX steel, which is extremely high dollar steel. This is a very expensive knife when it came out, over 300 bucks. They sort of dropped the price, but it's rock solid. This is a stainless steel, really hard steel, holds its edge very good. You see I filed off a little bit here for a ferro rod. Yes, super rock solid survival knife. I beat the heck out of this thing. It is people's talking about LMAX being brittle. I beat the heck out of it several times, and there's no damage to it. So, but the bad news is, you know, First Edge Knives is out of business, man. Like they were around for 3 or 4 years, I guess, 5 years, and then I don't know what happened. I know I saw them at a blade show. I mean, a SHOT Show. 3 or 4 years ago, and the owner, they had a new owner. All the people that I had worked with had gone. It was just like they were bleeding people. And he was walking around talking about how he just didn't know if he was going to make it. They didn't know if they were going to be in business for another year. And he's saying this in front of his employees, so I thought, you know, that's probably not a good thing. So anyway, the next year at SHOT Show, their booth was there and it was empty. Just had their little name up on a little piece of paper like they'd reserved it. And there were no shows, so at that time I kind of figured they were gone, and sure enough, they're gone. So anyway, it's a First Edge 50/50, so call that number 2, right? You want to look at number 3. Number 3 is another fixed blade that is also out of production, and it's the Schrade SCHF42D. This is a Brian Griffin design, and I think this is probably my favorite Schrade knife ever. I believe this one was made in Taiwan, and I think Brian specified that all his knives are made in Taiwan. I think he has ended his relationship with Schrade and asked him to stop making these for some reason. I don't know the details of all that. I probably need to ask him. Brian's up in Chattanooga, about an hour and a half from me. But this has got some custom scales on it that I had somebody made for me. But it's very, very nice. I like this knife a lot. This is like literally my favorite Schrade knife ever. And it came with this nice leather sheath. So, and it was under 50 bucks, so that's a pretty good deal. So there's that. That's number 3. There's Kuma, the Wonder Dog. Let's go to number 4. And number 4 is a knife I haven't had that long, but I've wanted for so long. I finally got my hands on one. I've been using the heck out of this thing. It is the, you guessed it, it's the ESEE Junglas. And this is I call it a knife. Some people call it a machete, but we just call it a big old honking knife. Made in the USA by ESEE Knives, and I've been using this one. I use this one to do a lot of yard work recently. It's a beast, man. I really like it a lot. And if you saw the video on this one, it's also very well balanced. So there's that one, and I'll just put it back in its scabbard or sheath. So I think that's number 4. And I don't have any only story I got to tell about this one is I got to go down to Big Daddy Unlimited to visit them in Florida last year, and they have a guy there that's really, really good at making videos, and they were making a video about ESEE, and I got to take this knife here out to an island with I got to go on, you know, you can't have the sheaths, Kuma. Got to go on a airboat ride, my very first airboat ride, which was really cool. And then I threw this knife at a great big old live oak tree there, and they knew I liked it so much they sent it to me. So anyway, that's pretty cool there. So that's the ESEE Junglas. Next, I said it was going to be 5. I've got 2 extras. I'm going to show you the 2 bonus ones first before I show you my absolute favorite ever. Kuma, nobody wants to see you bite my hand off, so stop it. You can't have the sheath. So we'll start with since we just looked at a big one, we'll look at a little one. All right, buddy. This is the Gerber Gator folder that I've had for, I don't know, 25 years. Now, that'll cut you if you try to lick that. You don't lick the knife, Kuma. And I say it's one of my favorites because I've had it so long. This is one that it's not a fancy knife. There's no thumb stud on it, nothing, no flick open or anything. But this is the knife that I had when my oldest son, who is 34 now, was in Cub Scouts. And this is the one we took on our first camp out together. And I've got, this thing has got a lot of miles on it. It's been on a lot of camp outs, a lot of Boy Scout stuff. And it's just got it's a cool knife. I like it a lot. So that's the Gerber original. And this one is made in the USA. I don't know what steel it was. This is some kind of 420 steel or something. But that's the original Gator. And you can see the sheath is well worn. So that's number bonus 1. Bonus 2, you can see the handle sticking up here. Do you recognize that? I just, you know, I like this. I don't know. I call it a knife too, but this is the Varusteleka Skrama. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but it's a Skrama. And this is like a, man, I don't know. That's just something cool about this. I like this a lot. It feels good in your hands. It's a good chopper. It's a good, you know, you can use it like a small knife. It's extremely well balanced. And I've done videos on all these things, so I gotta say, I don't know where I even saw this, but I reached out to these guys and they sent me this one to check out. They also sent me the knife, and I don't even know what it's called, Terra something or another. You have to look at the videos, but because I don't speak Finnish or whatever it is really well, but it's just, man, it is a beast, and I like it a lot. So, are you starting to see a pattern that I kind of really like big blades? So anyway, we're gonna put this one back in. It's got this is a really nice leather sheath it comes with, nice danger sheath. Fits in there really good. It's got a nice plastic liner in it. And snap there, little dangler there. So anyway, there's a video on that one. Now, drum roll please, this is the grand finale. This is my favorite knife I've ever had. And I gotta say, this one has a story with it, because this one is not really my favorite. But this is the closest thing I got right now. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So this, I'm talking about the Tops Tahoma field knife, which by the way, is designed by, remember that guy I talked about the first knife? Before the first knife even, Andy Tran. And this is Andy Tran's design. I really like this knife. It is a multi-purpose one tool option knife, really big. And we talked about choils on the channel before. I'm usually not a fan of choils. On this one, I get it. The choil is right there. So it's got a nice, this little hump here gives you a nice place to put your finger when you're done, when you're doing fine work. And it really does balance well there. And I think choils make sense to me on a big knife that's designed for multi-use, because it allows you to have that big blade to give you the mass for a lot of other stuff, but you can still choke up on it. Got a finger grip there. It's got a nice curved handle for chopping. It really works well. It's got this thing here this is for scoring bones, maybe bending wire, breaking barbed wire, whatever. And then it's got this hole here. What that hole will do, it fits a .223 or 5.56 round. You can pull the bullet out and get some gunpowder out of there. And this one it has a false edge here, but it's available with a sharpened edge there. So let's talk about that now. So this is not the knife I bought originally. I bought one of these. They didn't send it to me. I bought it, and it had the double edge here, and it didn't have this tape on it. Anyway, it was stolen out of my truck in a backpack that was on loan for me to review. I did get to review it. It was a really nice backpack, a really expensive backpack, like $400. It was super light. It was a backcountry hunting pack, so it's made for packing out meat, you know, out of the backcountry. Maybe a nice snug pack sleeping bag. A couple of other things were in my I think my hammock, my original Hennessy hammock. We're in a backpack anyway, and somebody broke into it in the daylight in a store parking lot, stole the backpack out, and my Tops Tahoma field knife was in there. And what really bummed me out was that they were probably looking for guns and trying to find something they could pawn. Nobody at a pawn shop is going to take a backpack or pretty much a knife usually. They're not going to get any money out of it. But they left about $500 worth of cordless tools sitting in the floorboard underneath the backpack. So they were just looking for guns, and that's what the cops told me anyway. And they weren't going to find my gun because it's on my hip. So anyway, Kuma, I don't want to play with you right now. I'm making a video. So anyway. Chris Tanner from the Prepared Mind 101 channel. Chris and I were kind of friends for a while there. Maybe, I guess we still are, you know, but we just hadn't spoken in a while. But we were in some stuff together and did some videos together. He was kind enough to send me his. He heard about it and said, you know what, I don't really need this. So he sent it to me. So this is his version. And I got to give a big thanks to Chris, because that was a very nice thing to do. So maybe one day I'll get one with a double edge back here like I originally ordered, because I like that double edge. It gives you ability to keep that for really fine work. But anyway, that being said, that's my Tops Tahoma field knife. I've done a review of this one. It's probably been a couple of years. My testing process has improved, so I might reach out to Tops and see if they want to send me one of the newer models that's got the double edge and all that on it, that I can do a new test on it, because I'm telling you, this is a really, really functional knife design. Andy got it right on this one. So anyway, that is those are my 5 of my favorite knives. Again, maybe I can't say they're my top favorites, although this still is probably my favorite knife so far, but they're definitely 5 of my favorites. They're 5 that I've chosen to keep in my special little knife drawer. So I hope this has been interesting. I know it's a little bit different. There wasn't any knife testing. We didn't do any balance testing, but I've done that on all these videos, which I've probably linked right up here, as many as I can, and they'll also be in the video description below. So if you want to learn more about these knives, you can check them out. And again, this one, by the way, is also still under production, so you should be able to get one of those. The only ones you can't get that I know of that are not under production now is the Schrade SCE Schf42D and the, wherever it went, yeah. And anything from First Edge Knives, which is a shame because they made some really, really good knives. I think you're supposed to pass this tag along, so I'm gonna pass this one a long way across the ocean to my friend Magnus Andersson in Sweden. That'll give you a chance to check out his channel, because I like Magnus's channel a lot. So anyway, that's it for this week's Sharp Saturday. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time. Kuma says bye.